Yes. And you're on now.
All right, I'm on now. Good evening. Welcome back.
So vampiric. I know.
Welcome back to Iconic Productions. It Gets Worse. Last week we I think wrapped up Almania's kind of soul quest.
Wrap up is a strong term. She didn't die again.
On a show here.
Your show.
But when we last left this party, is there a camera on her? Can
no,
people see her?
People cannot see her, but they can hear her.
They can hear Beth.
We do not have Mary this week, so playing Almania will be Beth, who we do have this week. Is this week 2 hours, or is that when the time changes again?
That's when the time changes. Today will just be an hour.
Okay, so she's going to run Almania for about an hour.
She's not playing Almania. She's playing not Mania.
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
We know all.
I have my recap already pre-pulled up right in front of me, and I definitely don't have to go find it now on my Google Drive.
Of course not. Do you want me to read my crappy
as evidenced by...
He got it.
Yay, he did the thing.
When last we left our heroes. I feel like I was in the middle of saying something else. And now we're doing this. Okay. You were stuck on the island that houses the monks of the Shadowed Mount, having been abandoned by your ship for reasons yet unknown. You settled into the monk training, barely managing to shear the goats, taking some damage while collecting the gifts, setting up a bunch of heavy posts and then only standing on one of them, full body weaving. It was grueling, but each day you found time to study your own craft, hone your skills, and ready yourself for the time when you would leave the island. That means they leveled up.
Yes.
You also began to take notice of Almania's frequent, chaotic, nonchalant, and somewhat brazen attitude, although you did nothing about it.
Not Mania.
After 9 days of praying every night to the goddess and praying and carving a spiral pattern into your own
No, I only
flesh.
did that once.
Yes, but it was enough. Talia, on the 9th evening, Talia finally received an answer in the form of a simply dressed, half-orc man with a big smile who introduced himself as H.A.P.P.Y Destin and told you the lady had sent him, that it was time to gather your things and come home.
I forgot that his freaking name was Hemotark.
You gathered. I can't believe I slipped that past the Greek teacher.
I'm so mad.
You did it so masterfully by scrambling for the name,
so mad.
Mispronouncing it, covering it up.
Angry.
It's great.
Knows how many years
I was helping you not metagame. You gathered all of your supplies and your equipment, but when Destin said he could only take 5 of you, Mortha said, yeah, I'm out. He cited misgivings and horror related to Lyra's earlier resurrection of Almania. Talia, you gave him one of the message candles that Sam Vilhane gave to the party.
Mm-hmm.
You've got 2 left?
Yep.
And each one has 3 uses?
I think so.
Something like that? Okay, cool. Vera found one of the elder monks before leaving and asked how she might progress as a monk, as the only one who seems to have managed to skip a few stages of the training and be accepted as an initiate monk. The monk told her that she had walked the path of 2 lies, but had not understood it.
That's not what you said. Whatever.
To progress, seek the path of 2 lies. Finally, you all gathered around the bright, beaming H.A.P.P.Y Destin, who pulled some sort of symbol out of his tunic, muttered a prayer, and you all vanished. Traveled through space. As you traveled, you felt like you were being flayed. The flesh was being ripped off of your bones over and over and over again, until suddenly you arrived in a large, seemingly underground chamber. In one wall, there's an open passageway that leads up, a large door opposite, across a very large flagstone floor that is basically identical to the floor of the temple you just left. Set into the floor is a sand pit that's about 8 feet deep with 2 ledges leading down. But the sand in the bottom is littered with old corpses that have had their throats slit, staining the sand a deep red. The walls are decorated with skulls, rib cages, and messages printed in red, rusting letters. The Red Queen has risen, and flesh shall serve. Blood is the only truth. Shed it. Shed truth and be free. And then one that was familiar to all of you, actually. The age has ended and a new one begun. Desolation is over and the reign of blood is nigh. Fate has slipped her moorings. An ascendant walks the land. Welcome to the Temple of Soranavi, the goddess of blood.
Quick point of clarification.
Yes.
Did Brother Destin say that, or is that just Josh saying that?
That's Josh.
Okay, because I was confused at the end of the episode last time if it was Brother Destin or if it was Josh.
No, at the end of the episode, that was Brother Destin.
Oh, okay.
And by Brother Destin,
so he did actually say that.
Destin.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah, but Talia likes this guy because she rolled really high on her insight check, and he's totally sweet.
Yeah, no, totally.
Is Hemotark a title or a name?
It's the name he gave me.
But the Greek teacher in my heart says, is that a title or a name?
It's the name he gave me.
You asked who he was, and he said
I think it's a title.
Hemotark Destin.
And then I asked what I was supposed to call him, and he said Destin.
Destin
Hemotark is a title.
Brother Destin.
Yeah, something like that. So, you are all standing in this chamber.
And you said that we recognized the symbol.
Yeah,
it looks like
I'm
the
sorry.
altar.
Yes, painted across one wall is the same symbol that you found way back in one of your first
when Cormier
patrols together.
got infected.
Yeah.
Don't touch it, Cormier.
Well, here. Where's my iPad?
Your generic tablet device.
Yeah, it's what looks like an altar, but an inverted one. It is sunk into the ground instead of raised above it. There is a sphere just on top of it, and then rays, but unlike a sun symbol where the ray is thin right where it's at the sun, and then it gets broader as it comes. These are inverted.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, this is lovely.
Well, thank you very much, Brother Destin, for the transportation. That was a unique experience.
Very helpful.
Of course. Welcome home.
Thank you.
Yes. Well, where exactly is home? This looks underground. On a ship?
No. This is Westishire.
Oh, well then we got where we wanted to go.
I've always wanted to
That's
visit,
perfect.
haven't I, dear?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, and thus your
Lovely
prayers
city.
were answered.
Indeed. Thank you very much. I'm sorry. I did have a question. You said you speak with her. She spoke to you.
The Queen speaks to me.
Ooh, friends in high places.
Indeed.
I am her humble servant.
Could you perhaps maybe sometime help me speak with her?
Oh, yes, an audience.
Yeah.
Powers that be.
She has spoken to you.
I know,
She has
but
brought you here. Is that not answer enough?
yes, of course. I'm very thankful and grateful for everything she's done for us. But you see, as I was explaining to you when we were back on the island, I have Lyra was my mentor, and I seem to have lost her. So
Indeed.
I wondered
Her
if
service is yet to be rewarded.
yes, but
Come, if you could fetch from the desk over there. Nods his chin, and set against one wall, there are several tables with stuff piled all over it and several drawers. If you could fetch me a diamond from one of those drawers, we can set about.
A diamond. Oh, do let me.
Of course.
I go over to the...
You go over to the table.
what is the diamond for? Is it a material component, some sort of focus?
Your friend's service must be rewarded.
With a diamond?
The diamond, no. Indirectly, the diamond will be consumed.
Oh, so it is like a spell component then?
Indeed.
Okay. Oh, that's so
It
interesting.
is our sacrifice we make to the mother, so that she can return our friend to us.
But...
Come!
I open the drawer. What do I see? Or on the desk?
You see a lot of things. You see a bunch of leather bags that don't seem to be organized. They're all just kind of thrown in there, shoved into one corner, scattered about. Some of them are on the top of the desk as well. Just a bunch of tied leather bags.
Oh, no.
We really need a phrase like Vatican cameos or something, so that we need to work on our cons here.
I will open one of the bags.
Okay.
And what do I see inside?
Roll a d5.
Oh,
6. D5's not a thing.
A 5.
A 5. This one is packed full of... This is kind of a larger one. It has a bunch of herbs, several small vials of oil, and a great deal of incense in it. No diamonds.
Mm-hmm. Oh, smells lovely. Sorry, wrong one. And I'll close that one and I'll open a different one.
Okay.
I'm doing this very fast.
You go
tiny,
through...
Tiny hands.
There are pearls. There are bags of what look like just tiny powdered crystals. Some of them are kind of a deep red. Others are just this nice pearly, shiny, sparkly white. And then you find one bag. Shake it a little bit first. There's one solid object in there, and in there is a lovely cut diamond about that big. Mm-hmm. You've seen gems before.
I was about to say.
This is of exceptional quality. Okay. While she's rummaging through the desk, Elmania, what are you doing?
Not Manya.
Well, I don't really know what's going on, so I'm just gonna try to kind of keep back and observe, and perhaps can I see any kind of like escape route or anything? Like how does the room look again? I'm sorry, I didn't catch.
That's fine. It looks like there are 2 exits. Can you hear me okay from here? Or should I get rid of my sign that says stop yelling and start yelling again?
No, I can hear you.
Okay.
He will happily yell.
Gladly. Keeping this low of a tone has been difficult so far. It looks like there are 2 exits to the room. One of them is a doorless passage that has carved stairs that lead up and out of sight. And then the other one is a very large, heavy door that is closed and appears secure.
Okay, I'm gonna just try to make my way a little bit towards the stairs. There's only the one other person there with us, right?
Yeah, just the one.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna just hang back nonchalantly, kind of like disengage from whatever's going on right now.
Okay. You do that. You just looking around, you inch towards the door. Okay. She's a few...
The stairs are going up, you say. Can I tell if we're underground or not?
You appear to be... So the floor is nice, carved, smooth, symmetrical flagstones. The rest of the chamber looks like cut rock. So, I mean, you could be in a mountain, or you could be just deep beneath the earth. You really have no idea.
Okay, I'll edge my way towards the stairs, because I don't think I could probably get through the door very easily. I don't know if it's locked or not, but
okay.
The stairs are open, so...
Okay. Are you, and you're trying to do that stealthily without being noticed?
Yeah, just kind of like nobody, like, I am trying to appear like my attention is on what the guy is doing, but I'll just kind of like sidestep every once in a while, like, yeah, let me get closer to this.
Okay. Every time he turns and looks at you, you're 6 inches further away. Like the reverse horror, coming down the hallway as the lights shut up. Okay,
I love
cool.
That.
Yeah, give me a stealth check.
Okay.
Right, you're not trying to hide from sight, but you're just trying to move without being noticed.
Yeah, without being noticed.
Okay. So she's rummaging through the desk. She's
rummage.
Slowly,
how dare you?
Apologies. What are you doing?
16.
16? Okay.
Nice.
So I'm just going to keep trying to engage him in conversation.
Okay.
So
he stands there, and as you're having this conversation, he's holding Lyra's body. He was holding it when you guys appeared, and occasionally he looks over at the desk where Vera is, kind of shifts the body again, shifts it to a shoulder.
Well, do we need to put her down somewhere so you don't have to keep holding her?
It is no trouble if your servant will only hurry.
She's definitely not my servant.
Oh,
there are a lot of bags over here. Give me a moment. I calculate the risks currently, and I will, against every instinct in my tiny body, resist taking anything.
Oh, no.
I feel like I should have you roll a passion.
I am not a kleptomaniac. It is not a compulsion.
I know. Okay.
But I will have already found the diamond, but I will try and look at all the other things and see, like, real fast what's in there.
All pearls, ruby dust, other diamonds, diamond dust, jars of liquid. Some are clearly some kind of oil. You kind of sniff the edge, and you can get the faint. These are oils used in preparation for bodies. They're kind of sweet-smelling perfumes. On top of the desk, there are a number of potions, a bunch of scrolls, and just a few odds and ends. Really big club, just sitting there. Looks like it was basically ripped off a tree and then polished to a useful implement. There's a really big belt that on you would probably cover about like this much of you, with nice not lace.
That is gorgeous.
Filigree.
Vera would so take that into place. When I said that I was going to resist stealing things, I'm going to resist stealing everything.
There she is.
Yes.
But
And you said it wasn't.
But
a
I can't
compulsion.
resist. My fingers are in there already, like palming a pearl or two.
Okay.
Can I do that subtly? I have my back to him.
You can roll me sleight of hand.
Can she have advantage because I'm currently talking to him, engaging him in conversation?
Yes. Not
No,
watching
because
me.
she's trying to beat his passive perception.
Right.
Oh, dang. Okay. Oh, it wasn't good. It was only a 13.
A 13? Okay.
So, I'm so excited to learn, and clearly I'm a very, very new initiate. I don't know very much at all. The iconography is interesting in that it is different from what I have seen before.
Yes. Isn't it lovely?
It is. It's quite impressive. This is the symbol of the lady that...
Ah, yes.
Is this a different branch, perhaps, or...
You will not need that anymore.
Well, it has sentimental value.
Indeed.
So surely she won't mind if I keep it.
Found it!
For now. Excellent. Put the pearls back. We don't need those.
Oh, but I need them. Fine. I'll pour them back in.
Clerics, man. Passive perception.
Yes.
Ha, wisdom.
Oh,
I'm sure it will be all right for now, but...
okay. What does
We,
your symbol look like? The one that you touched when you brought us here? Can I see?
We seek to shed falsehood, and symbols of lies and foolishness must be done away with. Mine. He pulls out that symbol again, and it is made of bone.
Okay.
And it is a replica of the inverted altar with the moon, and it just painted on the wall. You know, it's a rough sphere. It's rough angles and straight lines. Looks like somebody just kind of plunged their hand into some red liquid and then painted it. This is somehow worse. It looks like it's carved, shaved knuckle bones and bits and pieces of jaw. And so all of the angles, right, as it curves around, there will just be a spike that juts out just a little bit, just enough to, just looking at it sends a chill down your spine, and it's just awful.
I do my best to smile anyway.
That is
You smile
lovely.
anyway.
That is lovely. That is charming.
Isn't
You know, symbols are important, you know, and I sort
They
of
are.
rub behind my left ear.
Very important.
Which now is super obvious, because I don't have hair anymore.
You should tell her that
We're all gonna die.
her skills may be useful to you, but she will have to improve them. All right.
Indeed.
Then, off we go.
You needed
we go
this?
somewhere else?
Kind of throws. Of course. The timing is almost upon us, and this is not the place.
Oh, you're entrusting
He starts-
this to me?
Yes. Hold on to it.
Will do.
And he just starts walking towards the stairs that lead up.
Oh,
Shall we?
okay.
He walks past you, Almanya. Doesn't look at you. Doesn't really acknowledge you. Just walks
This fellow has all of it.
straight out and up the stairs.
Let's go.
Cool. Okay, I'll follow behind everyone.
Okay.
I feel like Cormier is probably behind.
Oh, right, Cormier's here.
Cormier's probably flipping out right now.
Do you need his sheet?
We're going to say that Cormier's drunk, because if he's not, then he's going to kill everything and smash
Well, he's
all of it.
already drunk. He's always drunk.
Oh,
Right.
man, Cormier.
He's got a few flasks of whatever it is they make on the island.
Is it because we had a conversation with him where he was fine with divine power.
Yeah.
Sure.
Although he did have that
Fine.
experience with the
Yeah, he had it with the altar the first time.
Mhm.
That's why that's interesting. Never mind.
Yeah.
Continue.
But I am not prepared to roleplay Cormier, by the way.
No,
at all.
good. I gave you his character sheet.
Yes.
I was like, I don't see it here. I know I have it. Yeah, no, that's fine. He is drunk, and does Talia want to be in charge of kind of leading him along, or who's keeping
I'll
him with
lead
the
him.
group? Okay.
Talia will make
Vera's got
sure
it.
that he's not touching anything, but other than that, she's still not really on
Okay.
speaking terms with him.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. He leads you up this staircase. It is long. It is winding. You don't know.
Oh, Jenny remembers.
You don't know quite how long it takes you, but you would estimate between 20 and 30 minutes before you
Is it-
finally...
Was it really hot down here?
It was not.
It was not.
No.
Okay.
It was a comfortable temperature, if a little bit on the chilly side.
Okay.
Sorry, this is a place that the players have actually been before in the previous campaigns. Some things have changed. That was a
Okay.
year ago. Everything's changed. You guys emerge from... I'm sorry, at the end of it, you walk into essentially a very large dumbwaiter.
Mm-hmm.
And you get in, and he pulls a lever, and you can hear pulleys squeaking and some kind of massive weight shifting, and you guys are lifted up only about 15 feet, and you crawl out into what was once a quite lovely bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
There's a 4-poster bed that's smashed, looks like half of it caught fire. The windows are shattered.
Yes.
Can we just enjoy? I know. I was
bedroom.
like, can we just enjoy this moment though? Because
By they've been here before, what I mean is
we completely torched the place
they broke their way in.
and torched it.
Yeah, it was
great.
lovely.
And killed everyone except the
Do you
man we were
realize
hired to kill.
How many fireballs were let off during that combat?
Well, Baelish basically burned all
Yes.
of his spell slots for that.
Yes.
So, yeah.
It was freaking glorious.
They killed 62
Yes.
NPCs
We did.
in the course of 3 hours.
And didn't exactly feel bad about it.
That
Which
was
makes
like-
me worry about Lakai's alignment sometimes.
Well, that was my second ever real session
That
of
was a
D&D.
session
I
with
was like,
us.
I don't know what's happening right now.
Bringing it back.
Sorry.
Sorry, we got nostalgic.
We
It's
got very
okay.
nostalgic.
I miss those characters too.
Miss my Lorvies.
Noma's still alive out there somewhere.
She
You might
is.
find her.
She's awesome.
Hemotark Destin leads you through out of the room, and the doors to this room, massive double doors, broken off their hinges, smashed to splinters. They're everywhere. And you guys walk out of that room, down a hallway, and as you kind of look down either side of the hallway, there you see 5 skeletons just scattered in various places. Bones have all been cracked
Didn't
open.
even clean
from
up.
marrow.
You've had other problems.
Lot of
New
things have happened.
management, man. Not all is cracked up to be.
Out into this huge ballroom with these 2 stairs.
Remember the ballroom.
These 2 stairs that curve gently up towards a balcony that overlooks the whole thing. Gorgeous dome all the way across the ceiling. It was
shattered.
Apologies. A beautiful, beautiful place. You've snuck into places like this before. Some of those, parties that happen up in the.
What's fabulous is that whole combat only happened because I failed one stealth check.
No. What happened
was
was
great.
you got no. We need that kid.
We'll talk about it
That
on the break.
campaign's
It's
over.
fine.
It's okay. Moral recriminations come later. So, I'm sorry, leads you
We
through...
have-
I've robbed
plan.
places.
There
like
are
this.
huge scorch marks across the floor and
Yeah, there
ceiling, and there are
Yep.
2 sets of doors that lead outside, both of which are shattered and broken off their hinges.
Yeah, they
There's a hole, just a big jagged hole in the dome.
Yeah, there is.
And from the doors leading out, just this frigid air is blowing in, and this whole room. Once you guys got out of the elevator, everything has been really cold. You can see snowdrifts just inside the doors, and he just leads you out. He is, again, just
Barefoot
wearing
still?
a very simple tunic that's soiled and torn all around the edges. He's got these stained sleeves that are just sloppily rolled up to the elbow, and again, they've got all kinds of stains of blood, lighter liquids, right? All kinds of nastiness, and they're torn and tattered. And he does not appear to have really anything on under this. It's just a simple tunic belted at the waist. And he just nonchalantly walks straight out the front doors. And as you guys follow him, you look around, and, well, it looks kind of like what the audience is looking at behind each of us right now. There is just a devastated, ruined city. You guys are actually really high up.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see quite a bit of the city. It is larger than Onishire. Onishire's on par with it, but this one is clearly larger in sections. And the ground slowly, opposite of escalates.
Escalates.
Descalates?
Descends.
Descends, that's the word I was looking for. Descends
I'm trying to
gently.
de-escalate this situation.
And you can see a series of 12 manors that are sitting in similar states of ruin.
those.
You guys
kinda don't feel bad
didn't
about that.
get to those
We didn't.
ones.
We didn't.
No,
I wanted to.
we
We wanted.
so bad.
We wanted to torch the dwarf one so much.
And
Yes.
past that is a cliff. And to the north, the cliff descends some ways, but then you can see another tier of the city, and then another cliff that descends into the lower part of the city, which then descends as it goes south
Miss
towards
Watertown.
the sea. You can see the remnants of docks, ships, and buildings. And from the wreckage and the devastation that you can see, it looks like the shore once extended much further, but the sea levels have raised quite a bit, and so some unknown portion of the town, clearly the entire dock systems that they had here, are just completely submerged, and all of that water has frozen over.
Okay. Do I see? And Talia has no idea what a wizard's tower looks like, but she imagines she knows what a wizard's tower might look like, and she knows there's supposed to be a wizard with a tower that lives here. So do I see any such structure?
Roll a perception check. The fact that the harbor, and you can see all the way out to the harbor walls, and well beyond that, hundreds of feet, it is solid, packed ice, which to all of you is extraordinarily strange. You guys managed to prevent your harbor, Onishire manages to prevent its harbor from freezing over in the winter, which is part of what makes Onishire and Westishire such powerful made them such powerful economic powers. So that even in the winter, people could ship goods across the sea, right? Which was especially needed by some of the cities on the western half of the continent who have trouble, right? There's really no farmland. So they have trouble getting food in the winter. You don't know what it was about Westishire's harbor, but it never froze. You don't know how they did that, but their harbor never froze. They never had to take any of the measures that Onishire took. And while Onishire and Westishire always had a very strong trade partnership, a lot of travel in between them, Onishire was always jealous of that secret. They were always trying to figure out what is it that Westishire does that prevents their harbor from freezing. Whatever it was is no longer in effect.
Interesting.
Does
That was a
Almania
12
know
on
anything
my...
about
I'm sorry?
Oh, sorry. Does Almanya know anything about Westishire?
Go ahead and roll a... Sure, go ahead and roll a history check. Can you be more specific about what you're trying to find? Or remember?
Oh, yeah. Just like, from her, quote-unquote memories, is there anything, like, does she know the history, the politics, anything that might be useful for her, kind of being able to, take advantage somehow of anything that she knows?
Sure, go for it.
History?
Yep, history check.
That's a 17.
A 17. Okay. Yeah, you know that politically it was structured very similarly to Westishire, with the exception that Westishire simply has a council of 12 of the most powerful merchants. Westishire had that, but in addition, it had what was called a trade master. Your best guess is that it was some kind of distant remnant of a monarchy from long ago. You know that about a year ago, it was attacked by the Vreeman Empire, and somehow in the conflict between them, the city was destroyed. And as far as you know, everybody in it killed, except for the very few remnants of the mercenary companies that had been hired to defend against the Empire, who managed to get into ships and make it back across the inland sea to Westishire. And I don't remember if it was episode 0 or episode 1.
It was 0.
You guys all had a chance to
It was episode 1.
to chat with.
Was it 1 or 0?
It was 1.
Yeah, to chat with one of those mercenaries in your Snowdrop Inn.
Question. Vera did a lot of business with Westishire in the old days. I mean, before a year ago.
You had contacts across the sea.
Yes, so did those just suddenly stop as an overnight?
Yeah, they just went dark.
Mm-hmm. But they were still communicating even when the Vreemans attacked. Or did
not
the
for
whole
very
city
not
shut
for
down?
very long. They stopped right about when the Vreemans attacked, because when the Dragonborn took over, they shut down all trade between them, except for the odd ship or two that the Dragonborn themselves commanded. Right. Your family mage, I've got his name here somewhere, can still talk, or could still talk for several weeks after that with kind of your contact mage in Westishire. But after a couple of weeks, presumably when the city actually fell and everything went to hell, that also cut off.
Okay. And yeah, I've never read it.
Okay.
I got a 12 on my history check for Wizard Towers. I mean, on my
Perception
check.
You do not see anything that sounds like any of the things that Kelfier has told you about.
Okay.
In theory, it should be quite a prominent thing. Rising fairly... have I used the word prominently yet?
Yes.
Oh, well, let me use it again. Rising quite prominently against the rest of the city.
But it's hardly surprising that it would be not there, considering the ruination of the...
Yeah, there was
Must not have been a very good wizard. He would have protected his tower better.
There was devastation. The tower, possibly
tower.
fell. Maybe it was in the part of the city that's now underwater. You really don't know.
Okay.
You do know that Kelfier is around here somewhere looking for it.
Can I step up next to Destin as we're walking? Just go.
Actually, give me 1 second. I wanted to finish Almanya's history thing. You were looking for something more something specifically useful, weren't you?
Yeah, anything I can use to either like help us escape or kind of take advantage of the situation.
House to burn down.
Okay.
We already did that.
You know that, like Westishire, Westishire kept obsessive records. So if you wanted to know more specifically about what was happening in the city, you could check those and see if there are any developments that could help you there. Given just that, I can't think of anything specific that might help you out. I'm not quite sure what your plan is, but if you have any more specific questions, let me know.
Okay, yeah, I was just like, what would Almanya, know about this city? Okay, thank you.
Okay, so you were about to ask a question, or you were.
I stepped up, Destin. Well, I love what you've done with the place. Forgive me, I'm rather new to the service of this acolyte of
and
your
you guys are walking
lovely
through
goddess.
The street at this point.
Yes.
Man, he's just got really wide.
May I ask, what does your goddess desire? Because, frankly, if this is the city she rules, it's rather a hole.
Let's speak civilly now, Mrs. Mayweather.
I'm merely stating fact. I mean, I'm sure even our friend here can see it's rather a dingy sort of place.
Rude though she may be, your servant is correct. The lady does not rule here.
Oh.
She has business elsewhere. I am here to shepherd her flock.
Oh, so you're in charge?
To a degree.
Wonderful.
I am here to consult
Exactly.
on spiritual matters. And the lady desires, of course, subservience from all flesh.
Well, of course, don't we all want that?
Speaking of subservience to all flesh, I wondered if perhaps you might have noticed if a ship has put in recently, within the last week.
That's what I forgot. Way out. Apologies.
Those little jerks who dumped us on a monk island.
Way out past the ice, which spreads hundreds of feet outside the harbor,
Interpreted that
until the coast opens up, is the Charon.
Have the people from the ship come ashore?
You may each roll a perception check.
Natural 20.
Okay.
Dirty 20.
Dirty
And that's
20.
the 17 for me. Dude, I keep rolling 17.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
It's your lucky
Okay.
number today.
Yeah, you guys can all see from this distance tiny figures. Just a small group of them marching back towards the ship, and it looks like they've rigged some kind of sled that has a bunch of stuff on it, and they are just slowly, almost imperceptibly making their way back to the ship.
I don't know about that captain fellow. He was rather a cad. Didn't keep his
Can
word.
I roll for Cormier?
Sure.
Because he would... Yeah, he got a 5.
Okay.
I was going to say,
He charges off into the surrounding buildings. Calfear! He doesn't.
No, I was thinking that he probably would want to get the hell out of Dodge and go to the ship.
Yeah, it is our way out.
Fair point.
Because I'm trying to think like Devin here and help you make decisions for his character.
True. I will keep that in mind.
But he only rolled a 5.
And he's also drunk.
And he's drunk. Oh, so you would have had disadvantage. But he's still...
Go ahead and roll me a d4. We'll go spring, fall, winter.
It's probably on his sheet.
Spring,
isn't it?
spring, summer, fall, winter.
I wasn't paying attention to you counting on your fingers, so...
Yeah, just roll a d4.
1.
Spring.
Oh, God, I hate spring!
Oh, this is great.
Spring is the worst!
It's all right. There's nothing reasonable for him to attempt to seduce.
May I,
other than you guys. I'm sorry.
Yes, it's true.
Well,
May
apologies.
I drop back again, just because I'm the one who's sort of shepherding him?
Sure.
And can I have been sort of holding on to, like, his thumb or something and pulling him along?
Yeah.
Like this. They're going...
He is just weaving, stumbling
Can
along.
I, like, subtly pull him down a little bit, too, so that he's closer to me so I can say something to him quietly?
Sure. Roll a dexterity check.
He's gonna tumble on his
Oh,
face.
for Cormier?
Yeah.
I want to hide it in the weaving.
That was a natural 20, but does he have
He
disadvantage?
does have disadvantage.
Okay. 2 20s in a row. Actually, it wasn't bad. I don't tip him over.
Except that his... Well, sorry.
What was the natural roll?
13, and then he has
13,
nothing
okay.
to dex.
He does not fall quite on you, but
Okay,
he kind of
good.
falls down to a knee and a hand on the street and kind of pushes himself
Thank you.
back up.
Let's go very quietly, trying not to get Dustin to hear me. You get a chance, you won for that ship.
Yeah, I'm gonna run for this ship.
Mm-hmm.
What ship?
Good boy. Ship in the harbor. Where else would a ship be?
The barber.
Good boy. Go on.
Okay. He leads you. Was that a wait?
No,
Tinker?
go
Okay.
continue. I mean, I have a question for him in a minute. But
Sure.
I
You guys
have a
have been-
conversation I want to have.
You guys have been walking through the streets, and at some point, we'll do this because this is just going to be fun.
Oh, no, it's not.
When you say things like
I
this,
hate it when you say
worries
things
us.
like that.
Okay, yeah. Does anybody have a passive perception above 10?
I do.
I do, actually. It's 11.
Okay,
Mine is
cool.
16.
Mine's 11 too.
Yeah, okay. You guys, as you're walking, you're talking to Destin. You hear kind of the clank of metal on stone and just being dragged along from a side street, and you can hear just kind of the clacking of hollow sticks. And at first, it's just that one blade that just sounds like it's being slowly dragged across a whetstone, just that is keeping pace with you in one of the alleys or streets nearby. And then you start to hear kind of more of that clacking, more of the clacking, until it sounds right. And this is happening on both sides, and you can hear more blades tapping against stone.
Do we have,
Is
friends?
that going to be a problem, Brother Dustin?
They should not be up here. But yes, it seems we must defend ourselves. Okay, you guys have about 5 seconds. What are you doing?
I
we're
will
in the
cast
middle of the
Mage
street.
Armor.
Yep. Mage armor.
Yep.
You're in the middle of the street.
I will.
I'm gonna do mage armor too.
Okay, mage armor.
I'm going to use my naturally stealthy to hide behind a creature larger than me, who happens to be drunk Cormier, who's standing right next to me.
Okay. You kind of climb up on his back, and you're just hanging flat against the back, peeking up over. Okay, cool.
I'm not here.
All of a sudden, a rush of skeletons just start pouring out of the alleys towards you guys. So, everybody go ahead and roll initiative.
Oh, can I do my divination rolls real fast?
Yes. Are you...
I didn't do them today.
Correct, okay.
May I roll for stealth, because I used that
I
last
rolled
time
two
to hide?
12s, DM.
2 12s. Okay, yes, you may.
Dang.
22
on stealth.
Sweet.
22 on the stout.
Being a Cormier backpack.
Oh my.
15.
Okay.
Okay. Initiative.
Initiative.
Which one of you babies am I going to roll for initiative? I'll roll you.
No.
That sucked.
Took out all the enemies I needed. I didn't take you guys out. Wizard. Do you have your
She has her little person.
Your little person?
I do have my person.
There we go.
Look how cute I am.
She is so cute. Do you need a dry erase marker? Because I seem to have one over here.
Put Almania.
Do we want to get Dice
Sure.
Gel out of the way just for now?
No, I've got a dry erase marker.
okay.
Sorry.
I'm going to put Dice Gel over here for now. Put Dice Gel right here.
Thank you.
He doesn't
we'll
get a
use
Dice
this
Gel.
as Hemotarch Destin. Who else do we need?
Cormier?
We
Talia,
got you two.
Cormier.
Oh,
We'll
Cormier.
need a Cormier.
and a not Manya.
Yeah.
Not mine.
Oh yes. Not Melania.
What did I do with
she
this
got a
character sheet?
Yeah,
just
I've
had it.
got
Oh
it.
no!
Bloody.
That's okay.
I got
We're
an
just
natural
getting
one.
our minis. We're just getting our minis.
Okay. So you guys are standing in the street.
I will paint her eventually. Maybe over spring break.
Yeah, that's great.
I'm wondering who he's going to resurrect. No, I'm interested. What should I do? Eat it?
Okay.
Yes.
Walls of the buildings on either side are about 20 feet up to the roof, and they all come to a point. They're all A-frames. Okay, go ahead and place yourselves in the street.
Wherever Cormier is, I'm
Sorry?
on his back.
That is.
Is that Destin?
That is Destin. It was going to be Mishan Sora when you fought her in the last campaign, but she ascended to
That's
godhood.
Almania. Here's Cormier. So I would be right here next to...
I'm sorry, this is the street.
Oh, okay.
Look, it actually
And I would be right here next to Destin, because that's where I am.
Excellent.
You were behind us, yes?
Oh,
Which way are we traveling?
You guys are moving that way.
Okay, so you were back here behind. There. And Almania was back here,
I'm rather
too.
proud of that.
Okay. Sweet.
Alrighty.
Oh, I burned a spell slot. Hang on, let me mark that.
Figure out
Forget.
what you're fighting here.
Oh, also, before we start this, just assume that once I learned the wrist pocket cantrip, that's where my spellbook lives from now on.
Alrighty then.
Unless I'm actively working in it.
Okay. 9 skeletons come pouring out of the alleys. Hurt.
What did I get?
Hello,
Oh, I got it.
This is a skeleton. It's not a quaggoth. And those were the only figures I grabbed, because fools. And that's another one.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay, they're going to roll initiative.
He.
It's great. 25 to 20?
No.
20 to 15? Ooh, Destin. Oh, so close to a natural 20. 20 to 15?
This
Destin
is
will go
going
first.
to be a very slow start
15
to
to
this
10.
combat. 10.
Cormier also got 10.
Oh my
Good. Me
gods.
and my tank and my mobile
Yeah.
tank are
Yeah, there we
going
go.
at the same
So
time.
Cormier and Vera.
I got a
5?
7. Well, actually, technically I got a 9, because I
And
rolled a
apparently
7 and I
poor
got plus
Beth
2.
got a 2.
Okay.
Sorry, Beth.
That's okay. They happen.
Talia and Almania. Is that everybody?
Mm-hmm.
Destin, Cormier, Vera, Skeletons, Talia, Almania.
I assume that my dex is faster than Cormier's, so
Yes,
I'll
it
go
is.
Yes.
first.
So, Destin is going to go first. He's just going to shift Almania's body to the other shoulder and watch.
Great.
It's not Almania's body, though. It's Lyra's body.
I'm sorry, Lyra's body. Apologies.
We keep changing the body.
Yeah, to be fair. Okay, Cormier and Vera, you guys are up.
I will. Am
Oh,
I
I have to
hidden?
figure out what he does.
Would you roll on your stealth?
22.
Yes.
Good. I will
Passive perception.
shoot one
Okay.
with my crossbow and assume I get sneak attack then.
Yeah.
They're also within 5 feet
Yep.
of a ton of people.
Yep. So you have an advantage on the attack roll.
Yes.
And which one are you shooting?
I'm going to get rid of the ones nearest to me, so I will just shoot this guy in the face.
This guy?
Hey, next to me.
Oh, this guy. All right. Shoot him in the face.
Nat 20.
Oh, dear. Is it possible for you to do less than 13 damage?
With sneak attack.
With sneak
Which
attack?
also
no.
doubles.
Okay. So I don't think it's possible.
Good.
He dies.
So, yeah, that one, you just
Dead
hit
pile.
it right in the face and the skull shatters and whatever magic was animating it, it just flees and it just crumbles to the
Great.
ground.
Then, because I be a monk now,
You do be a monk.
I get to do something as a bonus action. I get to use my dagger as a bonus action.
Well, you do that as a rogue.
No,
No, I
you
can't as a
you only
rogue.
do that if you have
Or is that only
a weapon in each hand.
for...
If you were a level 2 monk, you would have Flurry of Blows. I think you need to be level 2 for that, because it's a key point.
Yeah.
And you don't get key until level 2.
Then... So that's only if we're fighting with my
So
dagger.
if you
so
want
I'd be able
2
to hit
attacks,
twice.
you need a light weapon in each hand.
Okay, that makes more sense. Then I will use my bonus action to hide again on my mount.
Roll a stealth check.
You're not going to be on a mount
It's
very
not
much
as
longer.
good. I know, it's not as good. It
Total?
was only an 8.
An 8?
They see
That
me.
does not beat a skeleton's passive perception, but you feel hidden.
Yes.
Okay.
Much more protected.
Cormier.
Cormier is going to swing over here.
I drop off, most
And,
likely.
Now we can do this, actually.
And he's going to swing at it with his warhammer.
Does he have disadvantage because he'd be drunk with a tiny halfling around his
Does
neck?
he have disadvantage because he be drunk?
Yes.
He's within 5 feet of a comrade.
Well, it was a natural 1.
Okay, roll damage.
Oh, what's the damage? Oh, shoot.
To me.
Sorry, have to find a D8. Well, that's luckily only 1 plus
Strength.
2? Yeah. So that's 3.
3? Okay.
3 points of damage.
Almania. You're standing there sheltering behind Cormyr, and he takes his giant warhammer, right?
Yes.
And swings it horizontally across at one of the skeletons, who blocks it with his shield, and the shield just explodes in rotting wood and iron. But the hammer continues through and catches you in the arm, and you kind of get spun around. You take 3 points of bludgeoning damage. Okay, skeleton's turn. We're gonna get 1 attack against Almania and 1 against Cormyr. Almania, that's... Oh, but it was a natural 20,
But it wasn't in the tray.
Ha ha ha. Sometimes the dice gods be cruel.
That was I shit you not.
Are you fucking kidding me?
That is another
Joshua
natural
Kelly.
20. Almania!
He's gonna kill you again.
You take... If I could get my d6 here. 12 points of piercing damage. As the skeleton walks over to you with just these weird, erratic movements, and then suddenly just lunges forward and plunges its sword into your lack of armor. You've got mage armor on, so it kind of plunges, it goes straight towards you and it gets turned aside, so all it does is just kind of rip a bunch of the skin and robes off of your side. Okay, 1 attack against Cormyr.
Can you bring up one thing
Yes.
that I may have permission to do?
Sure.
Can I slip the diamond down my boot?
Sure.
As I was
As a
hiding?
bonus action?
Sure.
Okay. I did that as I was hiding, just like, shoop, on the boot.
Okay, sure. Because I think it's a free action to stow an item, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah. Okay.
And I have roguey things.
Does a 12 hit Cormyr?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Cool. Yeah. 4 attacks against Destin.
They're attacking
Stupid
Destin?
That's a...
He's not the
6.
ruler of their not flesh?
That's 21.
Let's do it now.
That's a natural 20. And that's a 17. Well, 3 of those hit, and 1 is a nat 20. So he takes
Vera
11,
makes eye contact
12...
with Talia and has this
Oh,
communication with
Talia
her.
is not stupid. She's been
Is it
playing
now?
this
Do we
whole
get him
time.
now?
Seriously.
Yeah.
So he takes 13 points of damage from the nat 20, which brings that down to...
I
Okay.
have an idea. I have an idea.
Takes 3 points of damage from the other attack, and 4 points,
It'll be
so
an
another
accident.
7. Okay, they all run up to him, and just stab and slash, and you watch as his robes are torn apart, and the skin beneath opened up, and no blood comes out.
Of course not. Yep,
and so they've
that's why
cut him up
I got
a
it.
good bit, and he stands there unperturbed.
Yeah, new plan.
Okay.
Man, it was a decent plan.
My turn, yeah.
Talia. Yes. I'm sorry, no. Now these two are attacking you.
Oh.
Sorry, Talia.
7 to hit.
Nope.
And an 18 to hit.
Shield.
Shield. Okay. The first one you manage to dodge as it just kind of comes clattering out of the alley behind you in just a wild swing. The second one pierces through your mage armor and you throw up your secondary shield and it skitters off and plunges into the wall next to you. Okay. Yes, now it's your turn.
Okay. I will... If I shoot a firebolt, am I gonna hit wood and set things on fire?
I don't know.
I'm asking.
And I'm saying
Do I
don't know.
see wood that is
Okay.
easily ignitable?
You can roll a perception check.
No, I don't see shit.
Okay. You see a
Don't
lot
do
of
that.
dilapidated, broken down buildings.
Cool.
Doors are broken in, but also it looks like there was some kind of earthquake, as most of these buildings have a wall crashed in or
Really?
something like
Please
that.
tell me about the earthquakes, Josh.
Yeah.
I will shoot the skeleton.
Behind you?
Yeah, I'll go after the one that tried to attack me.
Okay.
The farthest one.
Okay.
With Ray of Frost.
Okay. It has
Oh, because it's behind his
it
butt.
has cover.
Yeah. Natural 20.
Okay, cool. Go ahead and roll that damage. It's 8 plus a d8, I think. Ray of Frost?
Indeed. Yes.
Just a d8, okay.
So that would be 5.
So
Plus
13.
8, so 13 points of damage.
It is... Oh, these undead are not resistant. That is exactly how many hit points it has.
Sweet.
So you dodge the one that hit you, poke around, blast it, and the rib cage just freezes up, and then just shatters, and it clatters to the ground.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I'm not gonna move, because then people will get swipes at me, so I stay put.
Okay. Almania.
Alright. Am I too close to test Fortune Ray?
You would have disadvantage on the attacks. You could take an attack of opportunity and try to move, and then you wouldn't be.
If I took attack of opportunity, does that allow me to, like, run away from
Yes.
where everyone is?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna do that.
Okay. So he's going to make an attack against you.
Not Manya in the streets of
Does
Westishire.
a 15 hit you?
Just barely.
15.
Yeah.
Okay, so that it does hit you. So you will take 5 points of piercing damage, but you are now free and clear.
Right.
So you can clearly see 2 of the skeletons.
Okay. I will cast Fortune Ray at whichever one looks rougher.
Both of them are untouched.
Oh, okay. I'll do the one...
So do you want to... You can target each ray individually. So Scorching Ray, I think, gives you 3. So you could send all 3 at one. You could send 2 at one and 1 at the other.
And we've already killed other ones, right?
Yeah, you're only down. You're down to 7 now, from 9. They're not terribly strong.
Headshot.
Like, if I target all 3 at one and it dies before the third one hits, am I able to redirect the last one, or is that not how it works?
No, they are all fired at the same time.
Oh, okay. I'll just do one creature then in the hope that it dies.
Okay. So I think it's an individual. It's an attack roll for each one.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, roll 3 attack rolls,
And add my spell attack.
Yes.
which I think is 6.
Yep.
Yeah. Ooh, so that first one is an 18.
Yep.
Second one's an 11.
Nope.
Ooh, the last one is a 25.
Oh yeah. Whew. Okay, so you rolled. I think it's 2d6. 1d6 per.
Yeah, I think so.
Per hit.
What am I kicking?
It's the cord.
19.
He's dead.
19 damage from 2d6.
No, for 46. I got a 5, a 6, and then a 6 and a 2.
Hold on.
No,
Do they do
it's...
2d6 damage?
I think it's just 2d6.
Oh, it is. It's 2d6 for each ray.
For each ray.
Oh.
Dang.
Oh, no, you're right.
Yep.
Okay.
You killed him.
Holy crap.
You
Yeah.
obliterated him.
That one gets blown away.
And I would like to have any remaining movement.
Sure.
I would like to back up as much as I can.
Okay, you're about 30 feet away from the next combatant. Top of the round. Destin.
We have to leave now, too.
Oh, bye.
Oh, no.
So you know, I have 17 hit points. I have 3 level 1 spell slots and 2 level 2 spell slots.
Okay, cool.
Awesome. We love
Thank you.
We love you. Bye.
We're so glad you were here for longer.
Friday.
Bye.
Have fun. Have fun at school.
Yeah.
Destin is too good for this.
Of course.
So he's just gonna step back.
And they take attacks of opportunity on
Yes,
him?
they do.
And it doesn't do any damage to him.
6.
because
Man,
he's
I wanted to
fucking
shoot
revenant.
him.
12 and 9. 12 does hit.
Really?
So he takes another 6 points of damage. Yeah, he's not wearing armor.
Oh, that's true.
And he does take damage. Okay, can I ask a quick question?
Yes.
Since he is now backed up towards me, so I might get a good look, can I see what is happening when he is struck, specifically?
Yes. When he's struck, it is just the blades carve into his skin, and there's just these flaps that in anybody else would be pouring blood, but for him, it just looks like the blood is staying in there.
So not that he doesn't have any, but that it does not
He definitely
spill.
has blood. It just doesn't come out when he gets cut.
But he is taking damage.
He does appear to be taking damage, and it causes him pain.
Okay.
And he's a little frustrated, so he just kind of backs away. Okay. But yeah.
Okay.
Cormier and Vera.
I will.
Oh. Yeah, Cormier knows what he's doing.
I've
It's
ever
easy to
DM'd
play.
for just 2 players before. Think of all that we could do.
I
Indeed.
know. We could do so much. And you throw skeletons at us.
Hey, I've got an encounter table for the city of Westishire already.
I'm going to, depending on how I can do this,
Yeah.
because I'm hopping off his back,
Uh-huh.
can I hop off and flank the fellow in front of us without taking an attack of opportunity? Since I can move through the space of bigger creatures than me anyway?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm on the other side of said dude.
Her.
Go, dagger.
Dagger. Okay. And you do not have 2-weapon fighting, so roll the 2 attacks. And
are they...
which one of those is first?
Are they advantaged because I am flanking?
They are advantage.
Which means I get sneak attack.
True. Yeah, go ahead and roll the first attack.
It is a 16.
16, yep. Okay. Go ahead and roll the damage on that. You take your daggers and you just start smashing through bones here and there. Focused around the legs.
This is a 7 damage on the first hit.
With the attack, sneak attack?
Oh, with sneak attack? That's 2
You just told you you were just very careful to make sure I knew that you had sneak attack.
Vaguely new rogue who dis. Okay. That is 14. He did.
Yeah, okay. So you managed to just sneak away and smash through all the leg bones, all the minor ones that yeah. And he just collapses into bones at your feet.
That was 1 hit.
That was 1 hit.
Can I have my bonus action?
Yeah.
I will use my bonus action to whip the other dagger at another dude.
Oh, okay. Sure. Roll an attack roll. As you throw your tiny knitting needle.
I'll just do it at the guy who's nearest to me.
Okay. Yeah.
So we'll roll. It is a 17.
Yeah. Okay. It smashes straight into the base of the skull.
Yes.
Damage.
It is mathematics. I'm using my honed ones too, so I have
Okay.
honed. Mathematics 5.
5 points of damage? Okay. It smashes through, and you can see it kind of protruding through its jawbone, and all of them, their jaws are just kind of... And this one is now just kind of stuck, and you can see the back of the needle moving around. It is still up.
Then use my movement, because there are none around me to attack me,
Okay.
and start scampering towards Natmanya.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Okay, cool.
Oh, wait.
Oh, actually, you already moved 10 feet, so there we go.
I did, yes.
So that one's at -5. Okay, cool. Cormier.
Cormier will just walk over here, he guesses, to this one and smash it with his warhammer.
Okay.
With disadvantage.
Smash it with Warhammer.
Actually, no. Wow.
Ooh.
That
2
was
8s.
interesting.
Plus
12?
12? Okay. He takes his Warhammer again and smashes it, and this skeleton catches it on his shield, which explodes, but does not quite damage the skeleton.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Their turn.
It is their turn. I guess 3 attacks against him. Natural 1.
Okay. Somebody else dies.
Natural 1.
You
One
get
of
your 2
their-
20s in a row,
Yeah, this is...
and now you
this
pay
guy-
for it.
This is making up for it. And 23.
That actually will hit.
23 will hit.
Wow, you hit him. That's hard.
He takes 6 points of piercing damage
-6.
as
Okay.
the skeleton manages to find a joint in his armor and score a hit. And then 2 attacks with advantage against Talia.
Why advantage?
Because they're flanking you.
Fun.
21 to hit.
Oh, don't roll that next one. What's their attack bonus? Well, I don't know, but I'm going to tell you it's a 12.
21 to hit. Oh, I'm sorry.
She's
I was like,
divination.
what are you talking about? So you're going to assign 12 to both?
I can't to the one you already rolled.
Okay, so you get hit once. Second one is a 12.
Yeah.
So does 16 hit?
With
Yeah.
mage armor?
It does.
Okay. So you get hit twice.
Well, now I know what they have to hit.
You take 10 points of slashing damage.
Jeez.
I would get him, but he's down an alleyway, so he'd have cover.
As you slam yourself against one side of the alley to dodge one swing and then slam against the other, and you're starting to get pretty tired.
Yeah.
Okay. Talia, you're up.
Okay. I will... Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and... Which one of these two is the... Do they both hit me?
Yes.
Okay.
Is each hexagon 5?
Yes.
So is he technically here then?
Yeah. In these close quarters, I don't think the distance is hugely
Okay.
important.
I'll just hit this guy with Ray of Frost again, I guess.
Okay, roll an attack with disadvantage.
I haven't hit either of those guys, right?
Correct. This is the only one out of all of these who has taken damage.
Okay. Actually, if I go to this one, I don't have disadvantage, right? Because he's out of
Yeah,
melee.
that's fine. You're firing between Cormier and the other one.
Ooh. That's a 25.
No, that misses. It's range.
2 points of cold.
Okay. This guy?
Yep.
Okay.
And...
You gonna move?
So I'm in a pickle right here. Yes, I will risk the attacks of opportunity and I'll move behind Destin.
Okay. 2 attacks. 12.
Nope.
And 17.
Shield.
Shield. Okay. So again, makes it through your mage armor. The blade kind of slows down as it hits the mage armor, and then you shield it, and it goes skittering away. Blue magical sparks flying everywhere.
Yep. Okay.
Almania
Not
is
me.
me. That's what I was doing. I was pulling up her character sheet. She's a... What does she have? Oh, I've got Almania here.
Yeah, but she's not Almania anymore.
No, but she has Almania's equipment.
Oh.
So, she's gonna go ahead. She's gonna use Chill Touch. I know she's got that cantrip. Chill Touch on
She's gotta run all the way over there, though.
on the -5. Chill Touch, contrary to what you might think from reading the name of the spell, is a ranged spell.
It creates a ghostly hand
Yes.
over here that does the
Oh,
thing.
sure.
It's Shocking Grasp. It's actually a touch spell.
That's a 14.
And vampiric
that'll hit.
touch.
Mm-hmm.
Do you happen to know off the top of your head how much damage it does?
No. I think it's a D10. But I'm not positive.
1d8.
Oh,
You know
D8?
what?
Okay. Because
I might do it.
Ari had it. Despite
Okay.
its dubious necromantic origins.
It takes 3 points. It's not resistant to necrotic either.
Undead
They
suck,
suck.
man.
Useless skeletons.
Oh,
Okay.
we both said that at the same time.
That one now
They
takes
suck.
3 points of necrotic damage. Top of the round, Destan.
Useless.
Oh, that's me. Sorry.
I think I will do it.
He's not going to do anything.
Until they...
Cormier and Vera.
Um,
He's going to watch.
He likes to
I
watch.
will... I assume that Cormier is...
That one was on
From-
purpose.
from
I'm
you?
sorry.
Yes.
My tender Amish ears. I'm going to... I assume that Cormier is flanking with all these people. Or is
You
within
mean
5
being
feet
flanked?
of all those
Yes.
people.
Oh, gosh, yes. Any of them.
Yes. Then I will whip one dagger and another dagger each.
So
Sure. Okay. Roll the first attack. You do
No.
not have advantage because it
because
doesn't
you
know where
have
you
to
are.
move into
You will get
melee
sneak
to-
it.
No, but it's I'm flanked
Okay.
or
This happens every time.
it
You-
says not quite clearly
you
or
get-
another enemy of the creatures within 5 feet.
You still get sneak
Yeah, you
attack.
get sneak attack, you
You
just
do
don't
not
have
get
advantage.
advantage.
I get it. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, you are correct. I am misreading my thing. Okay, 18.
Okay, yeah. Roll damage on that one. It's just a d4 plus your dex.
Plus my sneak attacks.
Oh, goodness.
That is
Oh my gosh.
13. He dead.
The one with already a needle stuck in its skull, you just hit it at a different point and the dome just shatters and that one goes down.
Which means he now leaves that one outside of cover.
Correct.
So with
second
another
attack.
one at him.
Yep. Is this your last dagger? Because you've thrown 2 so far.
I've thrown 2. I have 4.
You've got 4. Okay.
So I will same roll 18.
Okay. Yeah. Roll the second damage.
Still sneak.
This is not sneak
No,
attack. You
you
get
only
it once
sneak
per
attack
turn.
once per round.
Then it is a 6 damage.
6 points of damage. Okay.
Sweet. Cormir will smack the guy that has taken the most damage that's in front of him.
Cormir takes his warhammer. Ah, I'm drunk.
And he misses.
Aww.
Really?
Because he has disadvantage.
What do you roll?
A 3.
Oh, I didn't see the other die. Okay. Ah, vroom. And you've never seen a skeleton dodge before? You haven't seen a lot of skeletons, first of all. It just kind of sways back on its not quite tendons.
Does
and
it do a matrix?
and
just go like
he
this?
just misses. Yes, because
That would be awesome.
in my world, skeletons can dodge like Neo.
Skeletons are Keanu Reeves.
It'd be an interesting world to run where just everything subverts every expectation.
Mm-hmm.
Keanu Reeves
Skeletons
is
are
immortal.
super dexterous.
Therefore,
Great.
the skeletons being Keanu Reeves actually does make sense.
Skeleton's turn. Cool. Well, they're all going to crowd in there and just try to hack him to death. 4 attacks with advantage. That's a natural 20. Okay.
No!
Second attack is
You guys, we don't have a healer.
is a 14. Does
Well,
not
we
hit
do,
his armor class.
Depending on what Destin can do.
That's another natural.
Are you kidding me?
Devin, God is my witness.
Fourth
He is
attack.
doing this, not
Yes.
And does a 16 hit his armor
No.
class? Okay, so 2 natural 20s. So that's 12 plus 3, 15 plus 19 points of piercing damage. As now all
How is
around
he?
him, they just start
Wait,
hacking.
wait.
No, he had 35
Well, you're taking 6.
Plus 19.
plus
Wait,
19.
can I not
so
do
he's,
math?
So he's still got 10 hit points.
Oh, okay. And then we didn't give him extra hit points when he leveled.
I know Talia's not a fan of
Oh
him.
yeah, we didn't give him his level up.
Oh,
So
we
he's
didn't,
at
did
10, is what you're saying.
we? All right.
Okay.
No, he is at 35. What's his Constitution modifier? 3.
Yes.
So his max is actually 44.
44.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's got 20.
Okay. So
Yeah,
he's 24.
so he's still doing
Okay.
fine.
Well, fine is a relative term.
Yeah, I mean, Almania got butchered because she got hit by somebody who does,
More
4d6 damage, so that was in the 30s. These guys do 1d6 plus 2. Okay. And that's all of them that are left.
They
So
all. Oh, they all
Talia-
attacked.
went.
Okay.
Yes.
Me.
They're undead, so they do not make morale checks.
Okay. I'm behind Destin.
Yep.
He is. I'm so conflicted. Okay. I will hit the which one should I go for? I'll go for this guy.
Okay.
Undamaged.
Ray of Frost again.
Okay, roll that attack.
Does he have cover? Because
He's got a lot of cover.
Oh, does he have a lot of cover?
maybe hit the guy in front of Destin?
He's
instead
got
of-
3/4.
Is there anybody that I could hit without having cover? Because they're
Yeah.
all
The dude in
far
front
That
away.
of
guy.
Okay. Sure, I'll hit him.
Okay.
You can probably
Instead.
kill him. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
minus 6.
Natural
Ooh.
20.
Cool.
You killed him.
8 plus a d8.
11.
He did.
11. Oh, he's already taken 6.
minus 6.
Yeah.
So he did.
So this time the frost ray doesn't even kind of freeze it up. The force of it just smashes him to the ground, and there are bones
Sweet.
everywhere.
Cool. Alright. That's my turn. Well, no, actually, I'm gonna keep moving, because I have 150-foot range.
Okay.
So I'm gonna move towards Manya there.
5, 10, 15, 20.
30.
30?
Yeah.
Leaning up against the wall there. Okay.
Yep.
Chill touch
Is
again.
there anything I can get behind? Like, to get myself some cover?
Not with your movement speed.
Okay.
Okay, chill touch misses. She rolled a 5. But you know what? Himotark Destin is going to turn and look at her aiming. Look at her target. That won't do. and you watch as just black veins writhe up her arms, and her arm just... She looks at it with a little bit of horror as it just corrects itself, and...
This is
wait,
my
no,
fault,
it's not an aimed spell. My bad. A spectral hand appears behind the skeleton. The Hemotarch does that, and she kind of just crushes something invisible in her fist, and the invisible hand crushes down on that skeleton, dealing 3 points of damage.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it just...
Are you gonna try and stab him?
Shush, you don't know.
Is that what you mean? Destin's turn. He feels like he's done enough. Cormir, Vera.
Well... Can I do something rather theatrical?
So, sometimes when it gets worse, it's not me. I didn't make it worse. Yeah, what do you want to do?
Well, I'd like to... I've got my crossbow.
Yeah.
And I would like to pretend that I am aiming at this fellow.
Okay.
Perhaps even theatrically trip and go, oof!
Okay.
And I will actually fire into the back of Destin's head.
Don't call shots, because then he gives you just a...
Or I will try and hit
Roll a
Destin, but I'm trying to do it by
Performance check.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, jeez.
Alright.
Yep.
11.
11. Cool. Roll an attack. So
there's an enemy of his within 5 feet.
So I'll give you this. I'll give you this. No, I'm not.
It's the heat of battle.
Roll the attack.
I was trying to hit the other one.
Sure. Roll an attack.
I get... Yeah. It is
It has
with
to be
my
an ally of
crossbow.
yours.
No, it does not. It's an enemy of the creatures within 5
Yeah.
feet. Which there is one.
Oh my god, that's true.
So it is a 23.
Yeah, roll the damage on that one. As it doesn't get him in the head, but it just kind of buries itself in his shoulder. And remember, the damage on this one's a d6.
I know.
Yeah.
You got another d6.
Oh, and it sucked though.
Oh, that's amazing.
10 damage.
10 damage. All right.
Can
was an
I give her
accident.
inspiration?
It buries itself in his shoulder.
I immediately yell, I'm so sorry!
He turns and looks at you. Troublesome. Turns and watches you as you continue to try and fight these things off. Cormir.
Man, did it have to be performance? Couldn't it have been deception?
No, it's a You were trying to trip and make it seem as if
No, it was that I was trying to hit him.
you were acting.
I was deceiving.
You were acting.
Same
Cormir
All acting
was
is a deception.
disadvantage.
Yes.
You should replace these with better servants. And black veins just spread. What do you roll
It was
total?
a 1.
It was a natural
Here's a
1?
nat.
Well, it's still not going to hit, but... But the black veins and his body just kind of starts moving erratically, and he starts trying to fight it, so
he's
the blow,
gonna hate that
the blow still
so
goes
much.
wild, but
He's
it's
gonna
unpleasant.
hate that so much.
Yeah, he is. Skeleton's turn. Yeah! 2 attacks with advantage, and then a third attack.
If you kill him and
It's
he's
a
not
natural
here,
20.
he will kill you.
First attack is a natural 20. Second attack is a dirty 20.
That will still hit.
Sorry, with advantage. Is a 22. And third attack, not with advantage, is a 19.
19 just
Nailed.
hits.
Okay, so 2 normal hits. So he takes 11 points of damage.
Okay.
And then a crit is 6 plus 7, 13 points of damage. He's now down, I think.
He is down.
He was at 20, and that was...
exactly 0.
Okay.
Yep. He was at 24, so he was at exactly
God,
0.
those skeletons roll well. Okay, and Cormir just goes down under the death of 1,000 cuts as they just kind of find the joints here and there and just start jamming their swords in.
Well, now he's not in my way anymore.
True.
So...
In more ways than one. Talia.
Don't be thinking that
Well,
way,
you're
Talia.
up.
I know
he's
your
not
alignment.
giving me he's not giving them cover.
Yes, that's totally what Talia meant.
My spell book is safe. I'm good. I don't care. I will attack the guy over here, I guess, that has already taken damage. Ew, that's an 11. I think that misses.
11 total?
Yeah.
Okay. It goes wide.
Okay.
How many of these does he have? No, he's already used both. Okay. He looks at you with just kind of disappointment.
I am so used to that face.
Different person.
I know, but I'm so used to that face anyway.
Almania, chill touch. Oh, there we go. That hits. Takes 6 points of damage. 12. Okay. That skeleton barely has anything going for it. One arm is now just on the ground. It's hopping on one leg. The sword is just kind of flying around. Destin is not doing anything. Cormir, Vera. Cormir, death save.
I'm not going to roll that.
Cool. Vera.
Was that a save or not a save? You're allowed to tell us.
What am I going to?
Because you're mean. I will, because I have roguish things for bonus action, can I use a bonus action to run up to the corpse of the one I hit with my knitting needles and pull them back out again?
That's a free action. You just kind of run over, grab them,
and then I'll go...
One at each?
One at this dude and one at this dude.
Okay.
Who is in contact with him.
First attack, you get to roll your dex to the damage if you hit. Second attack, you do not. So go ahead and roll the first one.
But my second one will be within 5 feet of an enemy.
Right, but you don't get to add your dexterity to the attack because you do not have 2-weapon fighting.
Yes. So the first one does have my normal thing. It's only a 12, though.
12? Okay. First needle goes, and you hear ding, 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 ding as it bounces down the stone street. Second attack.
Then I will... That is 15 plus.
Yeah, okay. All right, second one sticks straight into the bone. You see bits and pieces of it go flying around.
Is that with sneak? Because I've got within 5 feet.
This is with sneak attack, yes, but you do not get to add your dexterity modifier to the damage.
And it's a d4, not a d6 for your dagger.
Yes, you're right, it is a dagger.
Right, so d4 plus a 2d6.
Not that one.
It's not only me who throws the dice all over the place.
It is... Wow, I'm not rolling well on these. 6 damage.
-6. Okay, a good... I'm not going to try to name the bones because my wife is listening and she would just make fun of me when I get home for naming them wrong. A bunch of bones from his shoulder region just shatter and go scattering about, but he is still combat effective.
Shoulder blade, collarbone. Otherwise, there isn't a shoulder bone.
Sure. Skeletons!
I worked with mummies a lot. I know these things.
Are now surrounding Destin.
Good.
So, first attack with advantage.
I tried. I got 10.
Is a natural 20!
Yes!
Oh my god! Second attack with advantage. 21. 21, okay. And then third attack straight is it's a 15. Okay, so he takes 6 plus 8, so 14 damage. Second is a normal attack, he takes 5. Third is a normal attack, he takes 7. 21, 26 points of damage.
May I ask a brief, Vera question? I'm doing it first.
Yes, what is your question?
How does Destin look?
Roll on your turn an insight check.
Insight?
On your turn.
For damage? Checking how someone is? That's insight?
Yep.
Okay.
You've seen what it's doing to his flesh. What you are trying to establish is
what it's doing to his soul.
Basically, what percentage of him has been destroyed.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Will that take up an action? What is that?
For an insight check, yeah, because you're watching his gait, his movement, his facial expression, trying to gauge, right? How hurt is he? Mm-hmm. Talia.
Yeah, I'll just try to hit the one that's right here closest to Cormir.
Okay. Roll your attack.
That's a 8.
Okay.
I think that misses.
Again.
Almania.
Almania. Chill touch on the one with -12.
Stop yelling.
Nice.
Sweet.
Okay, I need to run the Cormier route.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I
Almania?
don't have a healing potion anymore.
All
You
right.
tell
You
Almania.
can at least stabilize.
All right.
Yeah.
Wisdom save on that one. Wisdom save on that one.
Oh, he's finally gonna turn
Okay.
undead? What kind of cleric is this guy?
He turns and looks at the only people still standing from the group, and they're all 20 feet behind him
Because we
down
have
the
ranged
street.
attacks.
He turns
the
and
jerk.
looks at you all.
Disappointment.
And just this red light explodes from his holy symbol, and both skeletons are just obliterated. Not scattered, that bones go everywhere. They are pulverized, and there's just a whirlwind of dust. And then it settles.
Does he say mediocre and then do that?
And he throws the body over his other shoulder.
How's he look?
Come. Insight check.
What about... I'm sorry, Brother Justin, but...
Give me 1 second.
16.
He is below half.
I try my eye contact with Talia. I raise
Yes.
an eyebrow.
Death saves
What
for
about-
Cormier.
Our friend there, Cormier. Do you have any healing abilities? Can you...
I'm gonna run
Bring
up
him
to
back
Cormier
up.
and stabilize him.
Roll
Medicine.
that check. Medicine check, thank you.
Nat 20.
Does he come back?
I think he might come up
I
with
think
one
he gets
hit
one
point.
hit point.
I think he does.
Isn't that what we said?
I know if you roll a natural 20, we'll call it. Yeah, you run over, you start
I do CPR.
yeah, well you start pressing cloth into the various joints in his armor and tying it off, and you manage to slow the bleeding, which was very bad.
Yeah.
The first roll was a natural 1.
Oh.
The second one was an 11.
Yeah.
He had 1 to go. Okay.
I again make eye contact with Talia and raise an
Yes.
eyebrow.
So you were talking?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask him if he could heal Cormier.
Is he worth it?
Well,
Talia.
yes, of course he is.
Right. Such things
Okay.
can be forgiven a novice.
That pause begins to worry me.
Well, I was thinking about the fact that he kept missing. He didn't actually hit at all.
Well, he's
But
rather...
I also missed.
What's the phrase? 2 sheets to the wind? 3
Well,
sheets
yeah,
to the
I was-
wind?
I was-
How many
I was
sheets to the
debating-
wind?
I was debating if I should explain that to the brother.
After all, it is only through the lady that we find absolution. And he touches Cormier. Cormier regains 22 hit
Dang.
points.
Sweet.
Absolution? Dear fellow.
Of course,
For what?
sin lives in the blood, and she is queen of it.
What does she define as sin?
So I noticed.
Just out of curiosity.
Of course.
All who stand against the goddess sin,
Well, yes, of course. We all sin.
and this one smashed an altar.
Oh, she saw that.
And he just starts walking down the street.
I didn't know this one was back in Westishire.
As you guys are all standing there, movement. Things just start boiling out of the alleyway, and you start and look, and ghouls are just pouring out into
I
the
hate
street.
these things.
You all raise your hands defensively, and they run right past you.
Oh.
And run down to the bones and just start grabbing them, ripping them apart with their sharp claws and teeth, and just... And the whole alleyway is just filled with this horrible slurping sound as dozens of ghouls are fighting each other over the bones. And Destin turns back to you guys. I would not stand in the middle of that. Once they finish, they will
no.
look for more.
Yeah, let's go.
Quite sensible.
He just nonchalantly keeps walking down the street.
Incidentally, you made Cormier look a lot better.
You asked me to heal him.
Yes, thank you very much for doing that. Do you think perhaps we'll get a chance to rest when we get where we're going? Or perhaps I might bother you in case we get beset again? I'm feeling a little fatigued myself.
It is rare that even one such assassination attempt even makes it this far, so I doubt we will be set upon again. Come!
Okay.
They look like they're finishing, and
Sure.
they are still learning control.
Let's go, Mrs. Mayweather.
I'm going. I follow your lead, mistress.
Almania stares in kind of fascination at the ghouls, and then watches as some of them kind of finish, look around, look at her, and she just kind of...
Almania, come on, let's go.
No, she knows. She comes running down the street after you guys. Okay.
Oh, can I, as we walk down, retrieve my needles?
You may. Go ahead and roll an
For
investigation check to try and find that one. You've got the other three, but the one...
Ooh, it's not
pretty
good.
far.
It's only a 7. I don't find it.
7. The streets are covered with snow, so a small, thin, silver knitting needle is very difficult to find.
Dang.
Needle in a
snowdrift.
Cool. All right. He leads you on through the city. And he suddenly stops and looks up at the sky. We must hurry. It is beginning.
What is beginning?
You all look up, and you can see as a dark shape starts to move across the sun. You are entering just the very first stages of a solar eclipse.
What does the shape have any particular shape?
It's a solar eclipse.
Okay.
It's just another.
So it's not like
moving
some
across
gigantic creature blocking the sun.
it.
Not that anyone has,
Yeah.
issues
So
about that.
The sun begins to darken, and the already kind of dim winter day starts to get even darker. And that's where we'll take a break.
Okay.
When we come back, we will find out where Hemotarg Destin is taking you guys.
Unless I stab him first.
Unless you stab him first, in which case we'll roll new characters. Join us again in 10 minutes when we will find out the answer to that question, both where he's taking them and whether Vera's going to try and stab him. Woo!
Oh, man.
Welcome back to Iconic Productions' It Gets Worse, where the party is being led down the streets of a fallen city.
By a blood priest.
By a priest of the blood goddess, who is taking them to an unknown destination to give their fallen comrade her reward.
Yeah.
Please tell me he still has like a crossbow bolt sticking out of one shoulder blade.
He does.
Yes!
Excellent.
I feel good about that.
Yeah.
I would like to fall back and try to have a quick, quiet conversation with Vera.
Yeah, you guys will be
Just-
walking for another 15 minutes or so.
Okay. Yes. Just really quickly, trying to be as quiet as I can. So, Mrs. Mayweather, I know that this may seem like we're at cross purposes here.
Don't shoot him again.
Please?
That was an accident, darling. I don't know what you're talking about.
Of course it was.
He had one of those
Obviously.
skeletons right next to him. Sometimes even I don't shoot straight.
Yes, I totally understand that. I will whisper very quietly, but for the sake of the people at home, I will speak in a normal voice. But I am whispering very quietly, DM. I know how to handle people like this, and you just do what they say, and it is not being weak, it is being smart.
Oh yes, I fully understand.
So we are going to do everything he asks of us until we don't.
A cold, clammy, clawed hand just kind of shoves you aside, and a ghoul just walks right past you, just kind of looking around, looks back at you guys.
I got something with ghouls. Is it fear or hatred? I don't remember. I wrote it down in my other notebook, which I have lost.
I know you've got a hatred of ghouls. No?
No?
I think I got...
I don't have hatred of it.
No,
Somebody
I think
does have a hatred of ghouls.
Almania does.
No, Almania has a fear of ghouls.
Then I have hatred.
Okay, cool. Roll hatred of ghouls.
I know how to do that. I'm
60 or below, and I'm going to
Oronka
need
player.
you to take a swing at it.
Use my Inala dice. That's a 20.
Okay, yeah. Damage. I'm sorry. Now you roll the attack. I'm sorry. I heard 20, and I was like, yeah, that hits. That hits a ghoul.
Do I just, hit it with my fist, or do I cast a spell at it?
You hate it, and you are overwhelmed with hatred in this moment.
Do I get to choose what I
leave
do?
the rest up to you.
Okay, cool. Then I will shoot a frost at it.
Okay.
Tilly, what happened to...
Natural 20.
You know what? That's too cool. Okay.
Just
You
obliterate this school.
Yeah. You just reach out your hand as this thing just this long serpentine tongue and all you can see
Is them killing Almania.
Ghoul just ripping Almania's skull
My
out.
best
And you
friend.
just charge your hand and you just unleash this bolt of ice. Ordinarily, when you use it, it's like a spray that just freezes things solid. Just a spike of ice just straight through this thing's head, and it just falls to the ground in front of you. And you hear motion all around you, and you can see a bunch of other ghouls have just kind of scuttled back into the... Destin turns around. Sometimes that's necessary. They are new to faith, and it will take them some time.
I'm sorry. They killed my best friend, and I guess I haven't gotten over it yet.
The goddess will help.
I'm sure she will.
Speaking of helping...
Mrs. Mayweather, can I help you?
Oh, no, I'm fine. Currently, I'm a little worried about our friend here. I really am so sincerely sorry. Do you need my help taking it out?
Roll deception.
It's not good. It's a 10.
Indeed. I will manage. Rips it out.
Oof.
The skin tears and rips, and you see him... no blood.
Apologies.
Grips his holy symbol. And you watch as, even though the wounds are not bleeding...
This is why we never tell the DM our
still,
plan.
those wounds now close. He is regained.
Ooh, that's a neat trick.
It is a wonderful trick. I wish that I could learn how to do that.
Well, I imagine all tricks like that come at a cost.
All true believers will know the way. Come! We are running out of time. And you can see the sun is about a third of the way covered at this point.
Okay.
Did you want to keep talking?
Yeah, actually, I was going to ask him to tell me the story of Our Lady.
Ask him.
I will carefully withhold what Lyra told me of Illyriel, but I will happily listen to anything he's willing to tell me of how Our Lady came to power.
Sure. Roll a persuasion check.
It's not terrible. It's a 12.
12, okay. She is the one who will bring us out of this desolation.
Yes, of course, I know she's the goddess of hope.
Will take back the wild. Yes, she gives hope. She will cleanse us of our filth. She will unite us. And we will leave these... He just kind of looks around at this ruined city, cages, and take back what is ours. All bonds will be broken and reforged. The rest, she will tell you herself.
All right. Well, that's exciting. You must forgive me. I'm very new to the path of faith, and I have been trained in matters of the arcane, which is a science and very carefully calculated, and I was taught skepticism at the hands of a very harsh master, so you must forgive me if I seem reluctant in any way.
The lady understands. Before her ascension, she was quite an accomplished arcanist herself.
So she ascended.
Indeed.
She has not always been as she is.
In spirit, if not in form.
So, when did the ascension happen, and how did that happen? You see, I recently read this fascinating excerpt from a scholar's notes. It was very interesting about paths to ascension, but he believed that it was impossible, but clearly it is not, so...
With virtue, all things are possible.
And what exactly is meant by virtue? That seems to be a question that has puzzled many great thinkers throughout the centuries.
And it is a puzzle that we shall continue to struggle with as the lady reveals... I'm sorry, he's not looking at you. Actually, he's not looking at you either. He's just walking.
Okay.
And you guys are kind of following along, and he's talking back over his shoulder.
Again, I'm very used to that.
Fair. Fair. Usually Kelfier didn't even kind of look over his shoulder. He just stared at his desk and did what he was doing. Yep. The virtue of immortals and the virtue of us poor destitute is different.
Well, obviously.
And that is the path of faith. Yeah. To understand what she is, that is what we seek. And what we seek to emulate. And with her guidance, many, many others shall become powerful.
Power is a much-needed resource, I am sure.
Indeed.
It is one that I have sought in many, many ways throughout my life.
And all of the powerful shall bend or be broken. Ah, we're here.
All of them?
And takes a left, walks through just a shattered doorway in a really very large building. And as you walk into this room, you can see the ceiling is almost gone completely. You can just see the skeleton of what the tiles would have been laid down on. And there is a large, solidly built palisade that just divides this building in two. With a large gate in it. He walks up, just kind of waves his hand across the gate, and it just slowly slides open. He stops in the doorway as you guys are all kind of stopped in the doorway of the building. So he stopped in the gate while you guys are stopped in the door and says, "Come!" And turns and walks deeper into the palisade. It looks like right about where the palisade bisects the building, there's no building beyond that. The palisade goes out through the walls and weaves its way through some other buildings. And there's some kind of large open space past where he's walking, but you can't see it terribly well through the palisade.
Okay. When in Vreem, they say, Mrs. Mayweather?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I'll follow him.
Okay. You guys walk in.
Please make sure Cormier comes too, Mrs. Mayweather.
Got him by the thumb. One finger.
And I'm making sure Almania's coming along. I'm tracking, make sure I know where she is.
In the steadily increasing darkness, you see the palisade kind of opens up, and then it looks like the ground descends. And so basically what you're looking at is, I gotta get rid of these guys. Okay, so you guys walk through the gate, and it opens up, and it's a little bit amorphous. It just kind of sprawls around, and then it looks like right about there, it descends down. And I'm sorry, the palisade runs all the way around the edge of it. And as you walk in, Destin kind of looks up. "All right, come. I have need of you."
Is it dark in there? Or is it just kind of dim?
This is open air.
Okay.
So the day is darkening
because
the sun is slowly becoming more and more eclipsed.
Okay.
And you see ghouls just kind of start coming out of the shadows.
I just take you by the arm.
What you took for kind of corpses over there buried in the snow now just kind of rise and start walking over.
Control it?
No.
Okay.
It was kind of a surprise.
Okay.
Like suddenly there was a ghoul there and your reaction
them, and he
was
said
just,
something about them being
at the moment
ally-ish.
You've got control of yourself. Yeah, they appear to be listening to him. "Fetch the tub and the other sacrifices." And they just kind of wander down into that dark area. And he lays down the body in the snow and starts untying the ropes that you guys have around this by now thoroughly soiled sheet that Samphilane gave you.
As he's doing that,
Yes.
while he is engaged, I would like to, as subtly as possible, I will take a copper piece out of my components pouch.
Okay.
I will start just gently fiddling with it in my hands.
Okay.
And I will cast, just at the basic level, detect thoughts. Just so that I get the surface, not the kind that goes in for the wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, so there's no save and he's not aware of it?
No, not until I probe deeper.
Okay.
And I would have probably been fiddling with the copper piece for a little while ahead of now, just to make it seem
that's
natural as possible.
Is there a verbal element to it?
I believe so.
Verbal component?
Or maybe it's just... Never used this spell before. This was always Gnome's domain.
This was always Gnome's domain.
But I am a divination wizard, so it makes sense. It has all of the components. Verbal, somatic, and material.
Cool. Okay, just roll sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand?
Yep. 10? Okay. As he's laying out the body, he's now fully unwrapped it. You quietly mutter the words of the spell. And he turns and looks. All will be revealed in time. He just kind of does that. Shit, you're a half-elf.
Yep.
So you can't be magically put to sleep.
Nope.
Shit. He doesn't do that. Oh, it's fine. That's not even a cleric spell.
Sleep? No.
Yeah. Sorry. He doesn't have that. Nor does he appear to have anything to prevent you from doing that, so.
But he notices it.
He notices it.
I'm sorry, force of habit. My old master, you see, was quite,
Intrusive?
Intrusive in certain ways.
Your eagerness is noted. Your purpose will be assigned soon.
And I lose the spell.
Okay.
Spell, so sucks.
Yep, you cast the spell.
But I have 3 of those babies now, it's fine.
Did you want to do anything in particular?
No.
Okay. At this point, you hear shouting coming from the hole where the ground just kind of...
Cast Disintegrate at 6th level.
You do that.
I'm sorry, it was right
in
there.
In your mind.
And Ari had it.
You imagine his form just... dust.
It would have been really cool.
And you see 12 men who are all bound at the wrists, being... they've got kind of scratches on their skin. They are all shirtless. They are wearing just tattered pants, just what's left of them, with just these kind of bloodied rags tied around their feet. And they are all, the ghouls are just herding them up here, and every once in a while a ghoul just kind of reach and just draw a bloody line down one of their shoulders. And they're just shouting, just, no! No, please! Someone else! Sorry, JD! I'm sorry! They're shouting. Things of that nature.
Yeah, I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with this at all.
As they start getting pulled out, Destin kind of looks up, and his head just kind of tilts back, and his eyes close. I'm sorry, you cast the spell.
Mm-hmm.
Anticipation, rapture, excitement for what's coming.
Mm-hmm.
He is about to perform the task that was assigned to him, one of the tasks that was assigned to him, and he's about to fulfill it, and it's going to be glorious, and the reward's great.
Yeah, I'm not okay with this at all.
So he scoops his hands, he kind of looks up at the sky, scoops his hand underneath Lyra's form, and, I'm sorry, 2 other ghouls dragged out this tub. That is just a simple copper tub that looks like it was taken from a house that could afford one. But it is crusted with dirt and mud and dark red and black dried fluid. and they just drag it out, and he very gently, tenderly places Lyra's body in. Looks back up at the sky. All right. Begin. And one by one, the men are just bent over.
I pinch you right when you say that.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Blood pays for blood.
But
Lyra
what have
has
they done?
Lyra's faith must be rewarded.
With life
But-
after death.
But Lyra told me that she went
With renewed life.
She went to the goddess's embrace, and that was all the reward she wanted.
Indeed.
No.
And all of these shall go there as well.
May I ask
The mother welcomes all.
a brief question? So,
Of course. He
You
starts,
see-
while this is happening,
yes.
one at a time, the men are just bent over, and one of the ghouls just runs a claw across their throat.
It's totally understandable. This young lady you see here,
Yep.
I pointed out Manya. It seems to me, I confess I don't understand much of theology, it's all rather new to me. But, that this young lady, I point to Lyra, sacrificed her life, frankly, to bring back this young lady.
You start having to raise your voice as the panic among
This
the
young
remaining
lady.
people is
And
just
me.
raising to a crescendo.
It's
And you can
perfectly
see
natural,
around
dearie.
the palisade, a ghoul will just kind of creep out of the rest of the city and just kind of be walking up and down the palisade, just kind of looking in at what's going on.
And to be perfectly honest, this young lady, went on Manya, does not seem to be entirely herself upon the return from wherever.
Of course, your friend has been welcomed by the mother.
I see.
Yes.
And I
Another
assume...
one is
I
slaughtered
rolled
over
a
the tub.
34 on my hatred of ghouls.
Do you want to do something? What are you doing?
I'm gonna throw another cross ray at one of the ghouls that's killing the guys.
Okay, sure.
Oh, dear.
Roll an attack roll.
That misses.
Okay.
Terribly.
How terribly?
Like, not terribly,
Not
terribly.
terribly.
Not natural one terribly, but it misses by, it's a 9.
Okay. It splashes against the tub, and bits and pieces of
And then
ice just kind of go scattering
immediately
across.
just look panicked, like, didn't mean to do that.
Yep.
She's not fond of ghouls. Forgive her.
She has much education
Yes.
before her.
Yes. Well, it seems to me, though, that if the blood of our friend Lyra was
The
given
third one is slaughtered.
for our friend Almanya, that, well, what's going to become of Almanya if Lyra is returned to us?
Almanya is gone.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
not Almanya.
I
That
understand,
hasn't been for a long time.
Yes, I know.
I apologize. What is your name?
Not
Just
Manya.
a great question.
Her name is not Manya. We've already named her.
I forget what her name actually is. You should talk about other things.
Mrs. Mayweather, This isn't what I signed up for.
But this is the fellow who has the power.
I know.
Do you
But-
like to end up in the tub?
Maybe.
No,
That
you
might be
don't.
better.
No, you don't.
When
its back's against the
the last
wall.
time
Oh.
I did not intervene, a child was enslaved. This is worse.
And you lived to see another day? And to right other wrongs.
My name is Liliana. Oh, that felt so good.
Hello,
Oh.
Liliana.
God, this has been so difficult. You guys are pansies.
What?
Well,
Good grief.
it's very pleasant to meet you,
Well,
too.
you were a whole lot of help.
I saved your life, didn't I? Of course, that's when I thought that you were the only one who could get us off that stupid island.
And it was me that got us off in the end. I'll have you know.
Tangentially.
That was a...
Almanya
$4
never
word.
used those sorts of words.
Well, Liliana was it.
Liliana,
What
yes.
do you do?
Very pleasant to meet you.
Hi.
Well, Yes, and where are you from, dearie?
A fourth is executed. You can hear as the blood starts to pour, it's no longer splashing against the side of the tubs, it's just liquid into liquid.
Doing that
as the
thing,
tub
where you
starts to
clench
fill.
your fist so hard that my nails have actually bit into the skin and I'm starting to bleed.
Destin is just kind of sitting there cross-legged, back to the tub, just closed eyes, head tilted up to the sky as the sun becomes more occluded.
And, who will be joining us once the ritual is complete, Brother Destin?
One who used to serve, and was taken from that service.
What a
She
shame.
must be restored.
Oh.
What
I'm
a
sorry?
shame. I will...
The sixth.
Well, fascinating. And, Liliana, who were and where were you in a previous life?
Don't remember.
What a
Well,
shame.
what do you do now? Besides irritate us?
Well, I was following you guys around because
Yeah.
didn't want to get killed,
Apparently.
Well,
and that worked real well.
Well, you
You're
haven't
not
gotten
killed.
So now I'm pretty sure it's time to start bargaining with that guy.
Yeah, he does seem
She
to
points
have
at Destin.
quite a bit of the
Do you want to
influence.
bargain, instead of us? We leave you to it, shall we?
Sure, go for it.
Well, what is it you want, dear?
I want to get out of here alive.
Yes,
Mhm.
fair.
I want to know whatever the hell that is. A seventh.
It's blood sacrifice, Lovey.
Well, obviously. God, you're old. So,
So are you, apparently. At least I'm not dead.
you don't know when I died. That's beside the point. Shut up.
When did you die?
I don't know either.
It could have been thousands of years ago, Lovey.
Well, it wasn't, because I know something that happened to this place, so... What year is it again?
Thousands of years. Many things have happened to this
Don't
place.
pull a jester on me. Don't give me that crap.
2,000 years have passed.
Like 5360 something, right? So it must have been only about a year. So yeah, you're old. Shut up. Hell of a lot of money would be great.
I
From what
dropped
I've-
all of
from
my
what I've
money.
seen- Yeah, that was fucking stupid.
I suspect a mercenary, our friend.
Okay, well, you can suspect whatever the hell you want, but hold on, I'm listing my demands.
Yes, what else would you like, Lovey?
And him. She just points at Cormier.
What do you want with him?
I don't have to tell you why I want what's on my list. This is my list.
No, I'm asking.
Can you give me? Can you tell me what
He's
that is?
Spring now.
Can you get me out of here alive?
He might not have a problem with that.
He never really...
Yeah, you got any problem going with me? Don't drink fucking tea.
Any Spring.
And he's Spring, yes. Which is why he's giggly while he's...
Instead of soppy.
Mm.
Why couldn't have even winter, damn it?
So, can you give me those things?
Well, he's a free man, so he can make his own mind up. And I have no money, and she has no money, so I guess our business here is done. Let's go, Mrs. Mayweather.
Cool. Are you leaving?
Should we leave?
Start walking.
I'm having a panic attack. I'm walking because I'm having a panic attack.
Okay. Out, I assume? Okay. You start walking towards the exit, and you see that the gate to the palisade has been closed.
Of course it has.
And those ghouls that have been kind of drifting to the edge of this palisade are also now standing at the gate.
Brother Destin, you must forgive my friend. She,
Divination.
is very young.
Transfiguration.
She doesn't know blood the way I do.
Conjuration.
Are you reciting formulae, Lovey?
It calms me down.
There was some hope for her. It seems perhaps a different plan will have to be formed. But I believe that it is almost time. At this point, the sun is completely occluded. All of the men have had their throats slit and just been emptied over the tub. And Destin now starts dragging their corpses into some kind of pattern around the tub.
It's been a while. It's been almost a week. Talia starts crying.
Okay. Sorry, I started laughing with genuine mirth and then realized what I was laughing at. Apologies.
There's
Separation. Just plunges his hand down into the tub, which you can see is just filled to the brim, and the blood just kind of sloshes over the edge, and he just starts chanting.
Talia.
Yes, this is my mother.
Shall we?
The diamond! He just kind of calls over his shoulder.
Oh dear.
Did you lose it?
Um,
Oh, you had it when we were in the alley? You must have...
I
Did you drop it when you fell off of Cormier?
I don't have it. I put it here, I swear.
Maybe she dropped it when she fell off Cormier.
Roll deception.
With advantage because I'm helping her?
With advantage.
Oh, God.
Both terrible.
Total?
Not good.
Fortunately, I saw where it fell. It is in your boot. Bring it here.
That's weird.
You can't blame the lady for trying for her own advantage.
This is Mayweather.
What? Tuck my handbag down my boot. You know I'm lying.
You taking it to him?
How many ghouls are in this area?
Well, there's about 14 who brought the 12 men up. And then probably about 20 at this point surrounding the palisade. He doesn't open his eyes. Place it in the tub.
You can place it yourself, sir. I'm frankly rather fastidious.
Pulls his hand out, and you can see his hand slide straight out of the blood and nothing left on it.
Neat trick.
Takes the diamond, drops it in the tub, puts both hands back in, and then raises them both up. And now the blood is just pouring down, more than you could hold in your hand. It seems like there's almost a small fountain on each palm as he just raises them up and starts chanting in a language.
I speak Draconic.
You do speak Draconic. Okay. So you would understand he is calling on... I did not write a demonic chant, so I'm going to describe what it says.
Please make up a demonic chant on the spot.
And they wonder why D&D got a bad rap in the 80s.
We're getting towards past my comfort. Anyway, he is calling on the goddess to find and restore the soul of someone named Ardexus.
As he does that, I was able to calm myself down, so I'm somewhat rational at this point.
Okay.
I will grasp my symbol of
the
Illyrial.
ritual. Actually, hold on. My computer's dead.
I'm sorry. Do you want to use mine?
Oh, actually, I could use yours, couldn't I?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is actually going to take quite some time.
Okay. So as he does that,
Yes.
I will grasp my holy symbol of Illyrial, because I am, by this time, thoroughly convinced that Illyrial is not the same deity as this.
Okay. So you are maintaining your faith that they are different.
Yes.
Okay.
Illyrial is good. This is not good.
Okay.
Even though it goes against all logic that Kelfir hammered into my head, Talia just is refusing to give up hope that there is something better out there, because that is the soul of her character.
Okay.
So I will grasp my symbol of Illyrial, and I will... What other languages do I speak? Oh. in Elvish,
Mm-hmm.
I will set up a counter chant as much as possible. Not a chant so much as more of a prayer, just, please, 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 this isn't what I want. I want goodness and hope and love and beauty, friendship, and all of the things. I'll think of all of the things that both Lyra and Almania were to me.
Okay.
And I will think of my mother, and I will endeavor to put all emotion connected with those people into this heartfelt, please don't let any more bad things happen to my friends. Please. And while I do that, I will just trace gently, not breaking skin, because I know what it does here.
Mm-hmm.
I will trace the spiral that I have cut into my arm, and I will just pray with every fiber of my soul for something good instead of something bad.
You may roll a religion check with advantage. And he will attempt to contest.
Can I do something too that inspired me? Do I hear her whispering to herself in Elvish?
I don't think it's really whispering at this point. I mean,
No,
it
it's
started,
not.
Her chanting in Elvish?
It started as whispering, and then just got louder as she broke down.
Okay. No dice? How curious. I start talking in halfling. Yeah, well, she's talking in... never really believed in gods, but we halflings don't seem to have much idea where on Earth or beyond we come from, so we must come from somewhere, and I'm backed into a corner and I don't like the odds. So, whoever's been talking to me, if anyone's been talking to me, change my odds here. Change my odds for a day in my life. There's a god of halflings. Producer's face.
I know, I can hear it. Your family magic specialist's name is Graber, by the way.
Thank you.
Found
Hans
the name.
Gruber.
No.
I'm going to call him Gruber from now on. You can't stop me.
It's okay, we'll find the soul of Bob Ross somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
DM,
Yes?
I have rolled a 23.
Okay. Can I see your character sheet? Sure. Do you have your passions written down anywhere here?
I don't really have any. We never actually did them properly.
Oh, okay. Roll a D100.
Okay.
Yep.
What do they look like again?
It's
This guy?
It's a UFO, but yeah. So that's the tens place.
And then...
Yes.
Okay.
59.
59. Okay. You have advantage that you can place on any roll for the next 10 minutes.
I put it on hers.
Hers is already rolled.
Okay.
I already had advantage.
She already had advantage. Okay. You hurl your memories of your family, your faith in Illyriel, your faith that Lyra was good and was not misleading you, at this, whatever this nasty mess is. And at first you can feel the magical energies that are happening here. As the sun is completely eclipsed and everything is suffused with that rosy hue of the red sun, of the red moon, you can feel the rays now of the moon as heat. And you can watch as they slowly start to swirl around this tub. And time starts to pass very quickly. All of the movements of everybody around you, Cormier's breathing, who else is here? Liliana's breathing as they stand there. Liliana gets bored and just kind of walks around. All of these movements are just like you've taken a show and just put it in fast forward. You and Vera are both still. You appear to be experiencing time at a normal rate. The ghouls all around, their breathing is very quick. All the ones outside the palisade are moving around like just fast little beetles. And you hurl your will at these swirling energies, and it is like running into a brick wall. You gather all of this together and just slam it against it, and all of your thoughts just go scattering. And your head kind of snaps back. You're breathing hard, and you're cold this whole time you've been sitting out here. The cold has just been seeping in, but now it feels like it's spreading from within as well, as you can't remember any of the things that you were just thinking about. You rolled a natural 20.
I had a natural 19.
I know. And the
I am a divination wizard,
the blood in the tub starts to boil, and limbs start to come out that are just completely sheathed in this blood, and Lyra's form, roughly her size and shape, kind of pulls its way out, and the blood, which is covering everything, you can't see it all, just slowly starts to kind of drain off, and as it hits the ground, it just kind of and just you see mist floating up, and then following the rays back into the sky. Vera, you want to do anything?
If I do anything, it's suicide. That's the problem.
Can't fight him.
So the question is yes or no. Are you going to do anything?
Not at this moment, no.
Okay. The form of Lyra, pale skin, just kind of shakes her head, looks at Hemotarch Destin. What is... You put me in a human?
Lyra's an elf.
I'm sorry. You put me in a fleshling? It was the best material we had available. It had been pre-prepared. Apologies, perhaps we will have to restore my rightful form later. The ritual worked, sister. And her head just kind of snaps and looks at him. It did. And he just looks up, and she looks up. Then I will be greater than I was before. You will. Such powers as have never been seen. Good. Who are they? They are the ones who delivered the sacrifice. There was some hope for, that one. Gestures to Talia. But, it seems she is lost. They will join the others and join the mother's embrace in good time. And our Dexus just kind of shakes the remaining blood off. Do you have my equipment? I have some things stored away. But you can start with what they have. And she just kind of looks towards you guys and just starts walking towards you, just kind of fingers flexing and unflexing. And we're going to go ahead and pause there. We're going to end there for this evening. We went about an hour over last week. We'll cut it short about an hour here because we are missing several players, and I think that really important decisions are about to get made. So we'll go ahead and end there. Grace is really mad at me by evidenced by the fact that she's not yelling at me right now. It's beyond that.
Not
So-
mad, I'm just disappointed,
Yeah, I
Joshua.
know.
I know, it's
too much stacked against us. We're
it's a
too low
20.
level for this.
So that's
Yes!
Alice's fault.
yes!
I know.
We're going to go ahead and end the episode. Thank you for joining us. I think we'll be back next week with everybody, and we will have Mary for, I think, a couple of weeks, and then she's moving.
And we'll have
think
Beth for 2.5 hours.
We'll have Beth for 2 minutes, starting next week?
Yeah, because of daylight
Cool.
savings.
Okay, and maybe Devin will come back and run Cormier so that maybe you
Or
guys
at least,
skip
Devin,
out.
if you're watching, email Josh what Cormier's going to do.
or that. So join us again next week. I think we'll have a more full crew than half, and we will see what happens. We're all a little bit terrified. So join us then. Thank you so much, and have a lovely week.